Happy Thursday, boys and girls. My name is Jeffrey Scott Mitchell, and I am not ready to discuss it. I am not ready to talk about it. I may be being selfish. I may be being introverted. But all day yesterday and after, I held on to the feeling and I stayed within that feeling. There's been times where I've gone through experiences and travel and events and concerts, etc. And I ask myself, I say, why is it always seems to be better? Why does it continually get better? And I question, I said, is this realistic, or is this me being deluding myself, or me getting so far into how can it keep getting better and better after all these years? I mean, I've been doing this shit for like 30 years, even dang near with the same band. You can just even go with P-Funk, the whole P-Funk experience, or any experience. Well, baby, it's probably just the P-Funk. Let's just talk about the P-Funk experience right now. And also with the P-Funk experience, I'm getting sidetracked, but I want to throw this out there. I'm realizing this is a symbiotic relationship. I need them, and in ways they need me. Need is a strong word, but as far as any relationship goes, need may be arbitrary, subjective. What is needed and not needed is definitely subjective, but whatever we're doing, as far as I'm concerned, I couldn't do it without people. That's probably putting it too generalized, but it's a symbiotic. It takes two. I couldn't do this by myself. I could not do this by myself, no matter how you look at it. And one of the reasons that I realized that it gets better is because it's different every time. The experience changes. So, like at the last, even at this short range experience, the last show, Tuesday night at the Whiskey, 420 Funk Mob, it came in. I knew the configuration of the lineup. I knew that these players arranged in this setup under Mr. Michael Clip Blaine's direction is probably the greatest P-Funk lineup that can be put together right now, with a few exceptions, or with the lack of an addition or two. But so for them to come out and play, for me historically, that was monumental. It was set up to be an epic night, and it was. It turned into be so epic, and I went to a place so beautiful and just so euphoric for like so many hours that I said, how can it keep getting better every single time? I mean, because I was just in London. I was like, oh, that was good. And then the next day, then the next couple of days we let it Bristol. It was like, oh. It just keeps going higher and higher. And I'm realizing that I'm building on the experience. The experience is built. So when I saw him on my birthday in Florida, I had just seen him twice in London. So that London experience adds on to the Florida experience. So every previous experience, as I go up and up and up, is the foundation of the previous. And then Tuesday night, if you look at it, that party started on and off stage. So many people. It was just, the maggots showed up. People flew in from places. I was seeing people from different universes talking to each other. And I would just say, how do you know him? You know him? Because I'm thinking, You know, not that, you know, I know everybody or whatever. It's just that how did person A start talking to person B? Considering they probably never saw each other before. It's Facebook. And then I look and see how active person A usually is or their tendencies on Facebook. I go, oh, okay. It's just a trip because East Coast folks was here talking to West Coast folks. And I'm like, oh. And all of it, just coming in there, seeing and knowing everybody, just the ambiance, the energy. I had been there before, Sunset Boulevard, and years of experience on that. Years of experience on Sunset Boulevard. I knew where to go. I kind of knew where to park. Even though I parked in a bad place and paid too much, I was comfortable. I knew where I was. It just relaxed. My experience had me. So it's like, I get there, right? I get there, soon as I get there, walking up, first person I see, Michael Hampton. I look him dead in the face, he look at me, we smile. And the reason that is experience is because a few months leading up to that, me and him have been running into each other. Hell, we had just hung out at the Apollo Casino. The other night. So there was like experience that went into seeing him when I walk up there. And then I turn and I look. Next thing I know, I saw Brooke. And I had met her on the other side of the country at the Funketeers Ball thing. And then I hung out with her, blah, 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 blah. So it's like it builds. There's a history behind all this. So when I stand in front of the 420 Funk Mob with Mr. Michael Payne leading them, pretty much knowing everybody on stage and pretty much everybody knowing me, that relationship over all these years, it's been decades. So all that goes into every next moment, at the next one. So at the next time we get together and do this, we'll have this history under our belt. We'll say, yeah, we had this experience and it was a good experience. It was a very, very good experience at the Whiskey. The crowd, on stage and off, the music was tremendous as it, I don't want to say should have been or could have been. Oh, I say could have been. It was tremendous as it could have been because you never know what's going to happen in these things. We're human. We never know what's going to happen. Things have to come together right. I mean, because we all know. We're all standing there. You in Los Angeles. LA Maggots. Everybody on stage is familiar with us, our group. You know, we got players out here. They know we know the music. We know we've been following them. And we know, and they know we know what bullshit is. We know what a good show and a bad show is. And people's coming in from, you know, like all around the country. It was a big deal. You know, so we were there. And for the crowd, for so much of the crowd to be us, that added to the experience. You know, I look around, I see people I've been doing this with for decades. In fact, I was there, the original LA Maggots was there. The original. We took a picture, me, Tally, Lamar, and Kareem. We were the original 20 years ago, whenever, 2002, 20 years ago, us four kind of hooked up after a show, literally kind of hooked up. I didn't know these people. I knew Lamar, so I jumped in the car with him. And we went from Orange County to Vegas, to San Diego, to back to LA, someplace. We went to a bunch of shows. And I had just met him. We just got on the road and went. And then while we were out there, we ran into Daryl Moon. And he the one who called us LA Maggots. He tagged us in a picture, LA Maggots. And that's how that started. And they were all there. I hadn't seen Kareem in probably 4 or 5 years, 2, 3 years or whatever. And Lamar, I ain't seen him in a while. So that was like, I could almost say the emotional reunion. It was a bunch of emotional reunions with all of us seeing each other. And this is before the music even starts. So we're up there talking. Remember COVID, a lot of us ain't been out, you know. I mean, a lot of us have, but, you know, because of COVID, we don't really get out that much. Jenny Johnson, she was just going crazy. She was tearing up seeing people. She said she ain't seen people in 3 years. She was like all locked up. So, I mean, it was just heavy. Everybody knew each other. It was hugs. It was just like, yeah, we're going to do this. And I'm standing there and they come out. Mr. Payne, oh my God, Mr. Curry, Mr. Hampton, Mr. Talbot, Mr. Gonzalez. Mr. Scheider, Mr. Durkin, I think his name was. Who else? Did I forget anybody? I'm trying to go across the stage. It was just good. So we're standing there and we know. And they know we know. So they know. And they probably know, they probably heard the reviews about the LA show. How it was, you know, most of us said, well, to that show, you know, and those of us who know, you know, we didn't get upset. We've been through this before. So everybody was there. We knew what we was talking about. We knew what we was waiting on. So there was pressure. There was definitely pressure. This time I noticed it. We've done this before. Like I said, with the experience more and more, this time I noticed that the band was aware of the scrutiny or possible scrutiny or whatever the word is, that they were being, you know, the band was aware that a lot of people were excited about this. Let's put it that way. A lot of people were excited about this. And then when people are excited, human beings get excited, there's a chance they can be disappointed. And even though it's not the band's problem, or responsibility or whatever, human beings, you know how human beings are in this our social entanglements of what's proper and what's not, and what's mannerly and what's not, and people getting their feelings hurt. And just because they feelings hurt, you're supposed to, So they get that. All of us, we were there. We were there and we did it. We were there, we did it. I call it imperfect perfection. Because if you know 420 Funk Mob, and the way they started out, I started smiling. I was like, here we go. And I was like, here we go. But the talent is on stage. And we all knew the talent was on stage. The train just had to get rolling. So Mr. Payne was like, all right, what are we gonna play? I don't know, Lige, you pick something. And Lige looked up like, he do that little slow move like, and then he started playing. And you know, it started off slow. And of course, Ole Nero tagged it pre-mothership music. And everybody knows what I like. Everybody knows I'm Parliament. And so they was playing all that pre-mothership music. And that's what 420 Funk Mob does. That's what Clip does. I mean, that's what Mr. Payne seems that's what he likes. And that's actually seems like what the band likes. It's like everybody likes Funkadelic more than Parliament. Let's just face that, more Funkadelic-y, heavier dark music. And quite frankly, when it really gets to jamming, and really funking out and really just getting nasty, it's the Funkadelic music. You know, it's not really the hits. It's the Funkadelic music that really pushes me over. You know, Knee Deeps to them get me there. In fact, 420 didn't play not one hit. They didn't play not one hit. It was not one Knee Deep. Hell no Atomic Dog. Best we got was Mothership Connection. Wasn't no We Want the Funk. No. Danny Bajosian posted the set list. I posted it. We got I'll Stay. It made me cry. We got Still Tight, one of my favorites. I was pushing for Funkadelic. That was the only one that we missed. I was thinking Maggot Brain, but I don't think they want to go in that direction. They got Cosmic Slop in there at the end. And it was just, to hear this configuration play it, which is basically the same configuration you hear play it with Mr. Clinton, other than the few additions, it's kind of the same, but it's lighter, it's heavier, but seems like it's more room or more space or something. There's a different kind of clarity in it. I'm just making words up. But, and I said I wasn't ready to share. I always say that. I said I wasn't ready to share, but then look at me, just jabbing. I'll be back, because there's more. And like, I don't go to every show. Somebody said, oh, it's a show in California, you're not there? I don't go to every show. It may seem like I go to every show, but I severely pick and choose which ones I go to. 420 Funk Mob was playing a show tonight up in Gooverville or something, Northern California. And I could go to that show. I could have went if I wanted to. But after the experience I had at the Whiskey in LA, amongst the LA maggots, there's no way that show is gonna be able to stand up to this one. I mean, it could, you can't say that for sure. You never know when you get up there with them hippies and whatever, you never know what's gonna go on. But from my standpoint, to have the 420 Funk Mob perform after I was hanging out with them a few days before at Paula after the show, and Norwood Fisher was in the audience. Norwood Fisher is a Fishbone. They opened up for P-Funk more than a bunch of times. Everybody knows everybody. I'm trying to explain it. Everybody knows everybody. So when Michael Bain was on stage and he told Norwood, he said, we coming back. We're gonna do this. We're gonna forge a relationship and try to, keep building on this thing. We've been talking about it before. And now we start to talk about it a little bit more publicly and a little bit more open, because the LA Maggots was in the house now. So the LA Maggots is a thing now. We got that. So that's another added factor to the equation. LA Maggots is a thing. In fact, Trulio de Gracies, Norwood has a band called Trulio de Gracies that opened up for the LA Maggots band. So it's a real thing. They actually got paid in the venue. So the mechanism works. We can make it work. So all that was in that room at the Whiskey. It was really intimate. It was pure on stage and off. Off stage, it was maggots up in it. It was us. It was just the people who knew. And it's like we all knew each other. And we all knew. So I'm like, 420 Funk Mob could probably go up north, phone in the show, and the crowd up there probably wouldn't even know the difference. Now it's probably gonna be, and I'll even say this to get on the Northern cast. Ricky visiting them might go, but they ain't gonna say nothing bad. Ricky visiting them Northern California cast might go to the show, but they ain't gonna say nothing bad like we will, or at least I will, me and Tally, and well, the maggots will, because I've been doing this for a long time. See, that's another thing, my relationship with the band. Yeah, I'm talking to people yesterday. They were saying, yeah, we watch your videos, in passing. They said, we see your videos, and the word that kept coming was honest. And it's no accident. I have worked for decades. In fact, I can remember the last lie I told, and when I vowed in the shower on San Marino Avenue in 1989 that I was never gonna lie again. I remember that exact moment. So for me to be tagged as, people come to me, honesty and just truthfulness and all these, we're waiting on your review, because one thing for sure, we know it's gonna be honest, it's gonna be real. Because I'll tell it if it's good or bad, I'll call it out. And I built that reputation. And once that reputation got built, it started to get respected. Once it was built and established, it started to get respected. And, I got a following. I got to admit, I have a following. And it's just weird for me to have to admit that. But I have to admit it. I can't keep going around acting like I don't. So, all of that's coming together now. So I was just saying, so they can go up to Northern California, phone in the show, It won't get any bad reviews. And plus, that's even if the people even notice, you know, this was like that or that was like this or, you know, it was just so good. I mean, I don't want to dissect the entire thing apart, but, you know, everybody was good, but Pink Boy, I got to give it up to Pink Boy. Now, why that nigga wore pink on stage with all them hard ass niggas he up there with? 420 Funk Mob, dark. I mean, funkadelic-y, just, you know. And he come out there in pink. I was like, you know what? But I knew. When Mr. Gary Scheider came out there in pink, he was making a statement. He's stepping out. That's more of a, y'all can kiss my pink ass. And he posted another video the other day where he was just waking up in bed singing. That's the kind of shit. That lets me know, okay. And it gives me more encouraged, let alone where his talent and not talent, I don't even want to know his talent, where his coming out and owning this and just taking it to a whole next level. Oh my God. It's just, and he's playing the licks. I'm looking at him to see what lick he's playing the licks and singing more and more soulful and just, oh, it's just ridiculous. But I got to give it up to Mr. Pink. I mean, for him to come out there, I mean, the whole place is black and white. There ain't no color. Nobody was wearing color. This is, you know, LA funk. This ain't hippies. You know, everybody was just the whole place. And here he come in pink from head to toe. It was good though, but he that's just said, hey, you know, I'll wear bumblebee yellow. It don't matter. Watch what I'm gonna do. You know, so that was good. I mean, everybody did good, but that one I probably had to call out because his singing is getting there. Of course, you know, Greg Thomas as always is just ridiculous. You know, oh, it's solo. Ooh, somebody did a solo. And I think you can see Mr. Thomas was itching to get one. And he came in and he just, it was good. Mr. Hampton is always doing what he do. Lies, just holding it down, being so solid that it's like in the background. It's just part of the air you breathe. You know, who else is funny? Oh, Mr. Bedrosian. I keep forgetting about Mr. Bedrosian. He be carrying the load too, because he sings too. Don't forget. He sings and plays keys and posts the set list and keep us administratively and technically specificationally, whatever wise. And Gabe, oh shit. I gotta say something about Mr. Gonzalez. Okay. Everybody know who my favorite drummer is. Mr. Barry Chanel. I've had a discussion with people and they've said that they noticed the different styles. That Mr. Chanel may have a more regimented military kind of flow style, whereas Mr. Gonzalez may have a more jazzy style where, you know, the tempo may slow and ebb according to the music and this and that. But Gabe Gonzalez was doing some stuff on the drums that other night, last night, Tuesday, that was not only different, but it was spectacular. It was like he would stop. It was like there would be stops and gaps, just empty spaces, and then it would come back in. It was just like, it was weird, but it wasn't weird bad. It was like interesting. It was extremely interesting. It was definitely a good thing. I'm just trying to diagnose how it hit me, because it's not I can just put an easy tag on, because the way it stopped and started, he was just doing stuff, you know. I'm not so sure with the tempo may, whatever, but just where certain hits and was supposed to be wasn't, and it was left open or something like that. But it was definitely something that seemed new and different to me. I was like, wow. I did I forget anybody else? I don't want to forget. And the Durkin guy I hadn't seen before, but he did a little song. And I say little song because it was not P-Funk, and it was something I hadn't heard of. And Danny sang a song I had never heard of. It was Parliament, I Love You, or something Parliaments. He be going back pulling that bullshit out. Not bullshit, but you know, I'm post-mothership. I'm post-mothership, that's all I'm saying. But, you know, and I appreciate it more. I do appreciate the music, the older music, where it came from. He was like, this is on the Revolt label. I'm like, oh God, I'd never go back that far. But it was good, it's just good. It's good. And Mr. Gonzalez was doing stuff. Lige, I forget Lige can sing. He sings, I keep forgetting that part. Oh yeah, I forgot Law was there on vocals. He was helping out on vocals. I mean, more than helping out, he was carrying a lot of the verses. He came in, I was like, okay. Even though he was up there doing the Motown steps. He was like doing Motown steps and doing things with the mic. You know how you push the mic and pull it back, like doing all that Bev Bid DeVoe type new edition shit. I was like, stop. We don't do that. P-Funk does not do that. But then I was just laughing. I said, I hope he's making comedy. I hope this is supposed to be comedy. But then again, if you look at it on stage, that's not a comedic act. 420 Funk Mob is not a comedic act. It's hardcore. You know, this ain't about no laughing and dancing. 420 Funk Mob is not Parliament. It's not happy. I coined that phrase years ago, happy music. Parliament music is more happy than Funkadelic. This was back before, when I introduced that discussion, it was before people was even ready to even understand what that meant. There was a time where people didn't understand the difference between Parliament and Funkadelic. They always thought it was the same. And for me to say that I like Parliament more than Funkadelic, people took that as an attack that I hated Funkadelic and I hated George Clinton. That's how sensitive things were in the early days of social media. You couldn't say anything contrary without a severe emotional reaction from people because they weren't used to hearing different things. So when I say that 420 Funk Mob, look up on stage, all them old Negroes up there, they ain't about Happy Meals. They're about playing the music and keeping it serious, you know? So to see him up there bringing in a little bit of levity, you know, it was cool. You know, because I always like antics. Let's just face it, I like antics. Mr. Hampton, I always look over to see what he doing, you know, because I love antics. So to see, it just looked funny to see Law up there doing all those, trying to do all those spins in this little space, and like doing those little side steps and stuff. But when he, ain't no bust, but when he sang, he came in, he carried verses. I was like, oh, okay. And they were like, not important verses, but verses that need to be sung by somebody. You know what I mean? Because Mr. Payne has his vocal parts. I forget Lige can sing. I keep forgetting Lige sings. Mr. Thomas, of course, he sings everything. You know? So I think Gabe even had a mic. I think Gabe was singing too. So, you know, I mean, technically, they've been doing it for a zillion years. And I said that they got over 100 years experience on that stage. It might be over 200. But so they know how to do it, you know. They know how to do it. They know the mechanics of it. They know, you know, pretty much. Well, I would say that they know pretty much what we want to hear. And what I probably like about Mr. Payne, me and Mr. Payne's interactions, is that he understands what I like, and he knows what angle I'm coming from. And he knows I'm gonna tease him about it, but he's gonna stay true to what the 420 Funk Mob is. And so I'm not gonna get what I want. And I think that's better. I think it's better that I don't get what I want because I'm pushed to hear something that I would not have asked for. And in that, I can learn and have different experiences. So 420 Funk Mob is like dark, you know, and heavy. So just to see Law up there doing that stuff, it was kind of fun. Especially because right behind him, you got Mr. Hampton standing there. You can imagine what he looking like. Mr. Thomas, Lige on that side of the stage. Then you guys were all doing these temptation moves. It was cute. It was fun. It was just fun. Like I said, that room, that moment, the LA Maggots, whatever we are, whatever we become, we probably need to acknowledge it. We probably need to acknowledge it so that we can exploit it to get full advantage, maximum pleasure or maximum utility out of it, maximum effort or maximum usage. Get full usage of it. We need to acknowledge that the LA Maggots is a thing. We need to let it evolve or grow, whatever it's doing. When did it start? How did it start? Why is it here? Why did it happen in Los Angeles? You know, what were the things that came together to bring us all together? History will tell that story. But right now we need to keep creating that story. We need to keep our foot on the gas. And more and more and more and more and more, I feel a responsibility to make something happen because I'm seeing the things that are around me. And I see that I'm in a position to make some really big or good things happen. Just from my relationships and financial resources and experience. And, you know, if I was to reach out to some people, I'm sure they'd be willing to accommodate a request or offer I can make them to build something or to have something or to do something. Maybe like have a Funketeers Ball West or something and try to book some people. You know, see how that goes. Or something, but we're building something. And this is my passion. This is something I love, something that motivates me and moves me. It's not a job. It's not a responsibility. So there's some lightness to it. There's not that much heaviness. It's all play. You know, it's a hobby. It's not nothing life, death, crucial. So that's maybe why I enjoy it and to step into it. I'm cautious of, step into that side of it. I'm cautious because I like where I'm at now. I like being a fan. I like looking up at the players on the stage. I like buying my ticket, come to a show and get served. I do what I do. They do what they do. I'm not obligated to cater to anyone, pacify anyone, satisfy anyone's whims, accommodate anyone. Anyhow, my name is Jeffery Scott Mitchell, and that's what it's about. LA Maggots, 420 Funk Bob, Los Angeles. It was just good. It was just plain freaking good. Just like it was supposed to be. I'm done. I'm full. I'm done. I took yesterday off because I didn't want the feeling to go away. And plus I was tired. It's up to 3 o'clock. You get home, you can't go to sleep after that shit. So I was up. I was like, forget it. So it's good. It's good. I forget where I was at, what I was saying. But it's good. Just really good. It's just, I was in a place yesterday. I was in a euphoric state of experience and reliving it. And I wanted to stay in it, and I did for the whole day. I probably ate too much, probably slept and was lazy too much. I didn't get steps. My weight was 207 this morning, which is definitely a setback, but still good. But the problem With the problem being the weekend coming up and 2 more days off to add to this already elevated weight. 207 is elevated now from where I was. I was waking up sometimes under 200, but I knew that weight wasn't real. But anyhow, it's just good. It's just really good. I'm in a place. Now what's next is the Funketeers Ball. A couple weeks. It just continues. So now when I go to see, like I was talking about the experience, it feels like it's new every time and different because it is. So now I'm going to the Funketeers Ball, even though I've done it 4 or 5 times already. But now I'm going with this added experience under my belt and the added experience of the previous Funketeers Ball and all that comes with that, the relationships that developed since then, and interactions and the stuff we discussed. And so it's new. It's like brand new again. Plus, you know, it's gonna be a different lineup, different everything. So it may seem like I'm doing the same thing over and over. But even if it's the exact same thing, it can't be because of the previous experience of which it sits upon. Swing it on y'all 2 times. Once for me, for the funk. For every elementary particle in any atom that has ever existed in this or in any universe that ever was, is, or will be. The totality of it all, y'all. A theory of universe. An hypothesis of all as